This 12th Annual Rice Awards moment is brought to you by the Georgia Injury Attorneys, the People's Champ.
Attorney Jamie Cox, who is the sponsor of this evening's Lifetime Achievement Award. She is a graduate, not one, but two Ivy League universities, Columbia University in New York and the University of Pennsylvania School of Law in Philadelphia. She's a native of Atlanta who attended Grady High School, and like our honoree, earned a journalism degree in college. Today, Attorney Cox is the managing partner of the Georgia Injury Attorneys, and now I bring to you onto the stage Attorney Jamie Cox.
I want to say that this is a special award indeed. The Rice Awards Board does not give this award every year. They convene and they determine the person or the individual in our community who exemplifies excellence, whose body of work is a pillar in our community, and who will be long-standing and exemplify that excellence forever, for a lifetime. This year, we honor Mrs. Monica Kaufman Pearson. Now, I have to say that all Atlantans, whether you were born here, whether you're native here, or whether you came to this city in the forest for a love of the city, we all know Miss Monica Kaufman. We remember her phrase on Channel 2 Action News. Yes, here's what's happening. Yes. She is a person whose plate was never full, is how I describe her when reviewing her awards and her history and her accomplishments. And we know her in Atlanta as the first woman and the first African American to anchor a major newscast here in the city. And before that, she had already made history in her town of Louisville, where she was the first African American as well to anchor a newscast. So when she came here, we really got to know her because she was not only in front of the camera, but she was in front of the community as well. So she was known as a person who logged an insane amount of volunteer hours. Yes, I was very impressed to learn that. When you were not, Ms. Kaufman, in front of our cameras, you were somewhere helping someone. You poured into people, you mentored them, whether they asked for it or not, and we appreciate that. And I have to say that I have a personal story to share with you as well. So you are definitely my shero, my champion. I, as a little girl, grew up in Atlanta watching you in the 1980s. And so I knew that you were on television and I could be there as well. I could walk through the door that you had opened. I knew that I could do it with professionalism, with poise, with class, and the baddest hairstyle anyone had ever seen that could take on a life of its own on the show as well. And so again, we're here to honor you tonight. We appreciate your commitment to the community. I also want to say that even though you say that you've retired, that we still see you around, we still see you achieving. We see that you have earned a master's degree from the Grady School of Journalism at the University of Georgia. And also, you still host some wonderfully popular shows here. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Mrs. Monica Kaufman Pearson. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, the exemplary, the breathtaking Miss Monica Kaufman Pearson.
I have several feelings going on in my head. The first one is, gee, I was skinny back then. The second one is, how many hairstyles did I really have? And the third one is, thanks be to God. And that really was the first. When I look at the opportunities that were given to me here in Atlanta when I moved here now, 47 years ago. I've lived here longer than I lived in my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. When I came here, my mother told me one thing. Hattie said, if you're going to make it in that city, you've got to remember to, 1, find a church, 2, find several organizations that you can be involved in to give back to the community. Hattie always said, Monty, it's important for you to reach back, pull up, and push forward. The gifts you were given by God are just that, gifts, things you give away to other people. And for that reason, I think that's why I've been successful. Because my husband says it all the time, that the only thing I've ever failed at in life is retirement. But I believe it is important for me to wear out and not rust out. So to the Rice Awards, thank you so much for this honor. But there's something else that they told me today that has me ready to do a happy dance. The Media Award will now be named after me. I am so excited, I can't see straight. So John, we already know September 23rd, we will be here next year because I will hand out that award. So the last thing I will say, Mr. Chandon,
Okay.
it's so simple. Come hold my hand. I say this to all of you, that each day when I wake up, the first thing out of my mouth is, thank you, Lord, for another day.
Yes.
And then after that, I have all my readings I have to do, my meditation, and then John and I start each day with a prayer together. That's important for us to start off the day. And at the end of the day, I simply do this. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. And that's all I have to say is thank you, Lord.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to Monica Kaufman Pearson, winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 12th Annual Rice Awards. The Rice Awards Board of Directors salutes Ms. Pearson, as well as all the other nominees and winners at this year's event. A special thanks to our sponsors, Georgia Injury Attorneys, Atlanta Fibroid Center, Nissan of Union City, Bridging the Gap Financial Services, Free at Last Bail Bonds, and Coca-Cola Bottling Company United. And don't forget to save the date for the 13th Annual Rice Awards on September 23rd, 2023, the fourth Saturday in September.